Hey everyone, it's Trisha from Snowy, New Hampshire. I am doing my internship as a therapist at Castle in Manchester, New Hampshire. And today I kind of wanted to talk about two things. And the first thing was kind of getting on with coworkers and how you're getting on with the other interns. And the second thing was, I guess it's sort of about safety, but it's based on a training that we just had that was really interesting about what to do if there's an active shooter in the workplace. So I guess I'll talk about the first thing first. The first thing I was really thinking about every Friday, we have like a group soup where it's just all of the interns. So there's five currently. One is leaving, and we're getting a couple more in January. And my kind of interns of the other two that came in at the same time is me. One's a music therapist, one's an art therapist. And the director of Create is really, really excited about that. So he's often like calling on them to do things and asking them to participate in special things during group soup and having them kind of take on different roles. And I have really been struggling with that, I think, and I've talked to them about it. Not the not the director, but the other interns, and they've been so supportive and really, really kind about it because it can be, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I guess it's not that hard. It really kind of sucks when when you're picked last for the kickball team, I guess is a good way to describe it. It just it feels like I'm inadequate because I'm doing my best and I'm trying to do everything I can and learn everything I can. And I feel like I'm doing really well in therapy, but it can be really hard when there's people who have different skills than you that are like on the outside, like more desirable. So that was really hard and has been something that I've struggled with for the past couple of, I guess, months. So, but it's been really great in terms of like the bond that we've created and among the other interns and among the staff there. I think it's been really interesting. I know we definitely stood up when some clinicians refused to answer the phones, or one clinician had someone who kept canceling on her, and I overheard her talking to our administrative assistant and saying if she could just transfer it to an intern because they always canceled on her. And I brought that up to the director, and he was like, no, that's ridiculous, which felt really good to kind of be validated that we're not just secretaries, like we're there to do a job too, and we're there for long hours, and we're there and we're doing our very best. The second thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is definitely the active shooter training that we went through. So one of our clinicians, she's only a clinician part-time. She said she has three jobs, so I'm not sure what the third one is. But she also works, she states that it's for the Department of the Treasury, but in reality, she works for the IRS. As a licensed clinical mental health counselor there. So she runs like meditation groups, and she works with people who work there. And she's been through a lot of these trainings. So she came and she did one for us, and we was really interesting where we walked through the whole building and found out ways like where we could hide, what the best course of action was. A lot of it was really based on hiding, taking cover, sheltering in place, running, and fighting if you have to, which felt kind of scary. But we like talked about grabbing your keys and putting them through your fingers so you can punch, taking like our two hole punch and using them as a sort of like crude brass knuckles to do a punch. Using aerosol cans, but really that's important to note that it should only be done if you're about 100% certain that you'll hit them, because you might just agitate them and then you're shot. And so that was really, really interesting. So I think that it's really important to be prepared for these things, but again, we had to really process it of like living in a world where that's something that we need to be prepared for. which was really hard. So it looks like I'm just about out of time. So for my question this week, I think I'd like to go back to the first thing that I talked to you guys about. And has anyone felt any kind of like inadequacies or felt like they're not good enough or really need some extra supports just based on what they're seeing around them? And if so, kind of what have you done in terms of making yourself feel better, making yourself feel like you belong and you're there for a reason. Okay, have a really great week, everyone. Bye.